All right, welcome back to Emmy After Dark. I am here with Gelf, and I think we're going to talk about some of these stories from the website Amy's Crypt. It looks like this person is a paranormal investigator, but she travels around the world, which is pretty interesting. And we have Gelf here. What do you think? I like this site. I think I'm most interested in Asia.
Yeah, the Asian countries would be a lot of fun to go and visit. But then again, I want to go to the Asian countries because I also want to learn to cook too. So I would have to pull double duty for that one.
Yeah, I feel I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, and our base had a lot of, I'm not sure if it was scuttlebutt or if it was ghost stories, but there was a lot of stories like, you know, you're sitting down smoking a cigarette and a soldier sits down next to you and then you share said cigarette and then you look over and there's nobody there. So I had lots of stories like that. And then what was it? I had one with from a barracks manager, and he would not step foot in a particular room no matter what happened. And I said, I want to see this room. And his story is the door stuck open and you couldn't close it, like the front door. And then when you walked away from the door, it would slam shut, and it's got one of those like I don't know what you call it, hinge that like slows down the door so it doesn't slam.
Yep.
Um and he said the door had that, but it still slammed. And then he said that he couldn't repaint the room because the paint that he put, which is white, would something would bleed through it, making it red. And so they had to like work on this room continuously to, I don't know, like fix the paint color or the color of the paint or something. And it's the one room that he can't put anybody in because there's complaints and he doesn't want to piss off the ghosty ghost. Um, but those are all my ghost stories from Asia. It looks like Amy's crypt. Oh my gosh. Thailand, Malaysia, India, Philippines. Where should we start?
I've just pulled up the one for Thailand to start with, but we can start wherever.
All right, let's do Thailand. Oh, girly popped in. Hi, girly. You ready to get spooked? Um, Five most haunted places in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yep, that's what I've got up. We can go story for story if you want. And hello, girly. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Yeah, you want to go story for story? Um,
Yep.
I actually want to go here just to eat. I heard they have some really big lobsters. Okay,
Mm.
I'll start with number five. Then I'm gonna butcher that name. Oh my god. Romanine Art Park. Um, our first haunted location in Bangkok is today a unique, picturesque park, but once a fierce prison that held the country's most hardened criminals. The former maximum security prison dates back to the 1890s and sat abandoned for a number of years following its official closure. To preserve the history of the site and make use of the area once again, the prison was converted into a park in 1992 to commemorate the Queen's 60th birthday. The old prison remains quite intact with guarded walls, watchtowers, cells, and even a full prison block still standing at the site. Countless people to visit have claimed to encounter the paranormal within the park, which makes sense given the history of the prison. There were many violent individuals held at this facility, as well as poor, torturous living conditions. This led to many deaths, and and from those deaths, a number of ghosts are said to have become trapped. The most common report of the paranormal at the formal jail is to cite apparitions and shadow figures. These entities are believed to be former inmates who lost their lives at the prison, and they have been frequently sighted walking across the park or even around the cell block area. Whether these signs are caused by residual energy or intelligent spirits remains to be told. Though I did personally pick up on a number of responses that seemed to indicate intelligence during a spirit box session, I can a spirit box session I conducted in one of the jail's holding cells. One of these voices seemed to ask for help, while another seemed to tell us when our session had been interrupted by some stray cats. Yeah, I feel like prisons are like naturally going to be haunted. Um,
I'd say so. Like as we heard with the Melbourne jail, that was haunted, and I know for a fact that the Boggo Road jail here in Queensland is also pretty haunted too. But it would make me wonder, like with how crowded most of the jail cells in Thailand and all that are now. Like I wonder if there's new ghosts being made in the newer prisons.
oh, good point. Well, I would think, honestly, I would think, why isn't the entire prison full of ghosts? Like, maybe, why isn't some people trapped and others aren't? Like, I would think everybody would be trapped. Um, just because of like horrific conditions and maybe some morality things and you know, but then again, I don't know what it takes to make it to the other side either.
Yeah, there's so many different stories of that.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet.
Uh, Trish, we're happy to have you watch regardless, but yeah, it'll be interesting if you want to watch it on replay or, stay with us while we're live. That's fine.
You want to do the next one?
Yep. Okay, so the next one is the Ghost Tower. So, the Ghost Tower is a 49-story building abandoned in 1997 after the financial crisis struck Thailand. The tower was intended to be a complex of luxury condos but was never completed and is today considered one of the most haunted places in the city. How does something that was never made for the living anyway, because it was never complete, host ghosts?
Mm, love that.
Though the reason why the construction of this building was halted was likely financial, many locals believe that the tower had been cursed, as it was built over the top of an old cemetery. Okay, well, that explains that. Add to this the death inside the abandoned tower of 2014 when a photographer discovered the body of a Swedish tourist on the 43rd floor. It is rumored that this is the most haunted floor, yet many others claim that paranormal events happen throughout the building. Like, the problem with, I find that is like the fact that it's not fully complete. So, wouldn't just getting up to the 49th floor, the 43rd floor, be pretty bad because you wouldn't know what the internal stairwells are like because there'd be no lifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
wonder how many people, I actually wonder how many people go there because they think it's haunted. And like maybe the guy passed away from the elements or something, or did he fall or something? What?
it yeah, it doesn't say. It's that one. Yeah. Yeah, I would probably have to look into that more, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of I've heard of similar stories in Okinawa where it's rumored, I don't know if it's true, but it's like rumored that if someone dies like on a construction site, they don't finish the job. I don't know if that's true. It's probably scuttlebutt. Um, but yeah, that kind of sucks for that building. It's huge.
But, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's in the list or not, but I assume it would be because of how haunted it is. There was a theater that had opened up. Things weren't going too well with the grand opening. People actually died. There was a couple of either famous people or like people like that were highly elected there as well. And apparently, even to this day, they can hear the Filipino word for "help me." I think it is being screamed out in Tagalong.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Talk about being part of the show.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna butcher this name. I don't even know how to closely say this. Bayoki, Bayoki Sky Hotel is one of the tallest and busiest hotels in the city of Bangkok, Thailand. It stands at 88 stories or 309 meters and contains hundreds of attractions, such as golf driving range and themed restaurants. It's also said to be very haunted. The hotel has been touched by death, with many online articles reporting that an accident during construction led to the deaths of some workers, though there may be some confusion surrounding this and another incident that occurred in 2012. At this time, three men who were installing a billboard on the side of the hotel fell to their deaths. This occurred after the platform they were standing on broke, leaving three men to fall and die, and two others left clinging to the remains of the platform high above the city until they could be rescued. Oh my gosh. I would not be able
I,
to do that. Some have claimed that this tragic event could be the reason for the many paranormal events said to happen in the hotel. One just needs to take a quick look at TripAdvisor reviews to get a feeling for the type of activity that goes on. With the most reported types of spooky events involving poltergeist activity, shadow figures, and the feeling of an invisible presence nearby. That's creepy.
and this is why I have trust issues with scaffolding.
Yeah, I can't do the height thing. I can't do elevators. Like if an elevator goes up like 7 floors, I'm already like freaking out. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I generally not a big fan of heights anyway, but uh, when I was a lot younger, I worked on what they now call the toaster. It's the building that's in front of the Sydney Opera House in Banger and Point, I think it's called. Um, the building we were working on when it was being constructed, we were delivering a load of doors to one of the higher floors. Yeah, the elevator dropped several floors. Yeah,
No.
that was
Mm-mm.
scary. And then when they fixed it, it dropped again. Ever since then, my fear of elevators has gone through the roof. If it so much as shudders while it moves, I have a death grip on that. Like if they've got a handrail, I have a death grip on the thing. I yeah, I just can't. It's yeah, like if I didn't have a problem walking upstairs because of my reconstructed knee, I would take the bloody stairs. That's how bad it's gotten now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
yeah.
I wouldn't I don't think I'd do elevators after that experience.
There's a few elevators I've had to take, especially to go up to when I had to go get my birth certificate. That elevator goes up so fast you can feel your stomach drop.
Oh,
Yeah, that one had me like as a wreck afterwards. I did not like that, and I've had to go up there twice now, and yeah, I really don't like that. So yeah, no, it's yeah. Even now, I you got the heebie-jeebies from that. It's bad.
yeah, I don't blame you.
Anyway, let's get move on to number two, the May Nak Shrine. Have you noticed I get the easy pronunciations?
I'm just gonna give up on the pronunciations. I think it's my brain and my mouth can't work together sometimes.
Okay, so the May Nak Shrine is was built um, for perhaps the city's best known ghost, Maynak. This ghost story is quite a sad one. It tells of Maynak, who was married to a man named Mac. The couple lived in a humble and happy life along the canal system in Bangkok. Sadly, their peace was disrupted after Mac was enlisted to serve the war. He was forced to leave his wife, who was pregnant at the time, alone. Soon after being enlisted, Mac was badly injured in the battle. Around the same time, May Nak went into labor and experienced some complications, and sadly, both she and her baby passed away. Once Mac was fully healed, she returned home and was greeted by a seemingly healthy baby and wife. Little did he know that his family were now actually ghosts. Any well-meaning local who attempted to warn Mac of his ghostly family was said to have been killed by the spirit of May Nak. Eventually, Mac realized what was going on and sought help from the temple that was able to perform an exorcism of sorts on May Nak. Whether there is any truth behind this story remains to be told, but there is a very large shrine along these canals for the spirit of May Nak. It is quite a famous place and visited by many who wish to show their respects. People visit from far and wide to leave offerings for May Nak, with the only people warned to stay away being pregnant women. Some even seem to think Maynak possesses the power to provide them with winning lottery numbers.
Wow. I've never heard of a ghost family. I'm speechless. But I could
Yeah,
understand why you would leave offerings. That's Have you ever heard of anything like that?
no, but even just looking at the effigy, the shrine,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's almost like there's something residing behind the eyes in that shrine. If you have a look at the gold leaf one in the article,
Uh-huh.
yeah, just
I mean, I'm not going to criticize the look of the shrine, but it kind of reminds me of that last story that we talked about, I think a couple days ago, where the person was like might have been embalmed and might have been a.
the one with the wedding dress in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. That was it's either an embalmed, it's her embalmed daughter, or it's just a statue that's very lifelike that seems to move of its own accord. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do I don't do dolls that move. That's not my jam. That move on their own. Even with batteries, I still don't like them because I still get creeped out because I feel like there's that chance that, yeah, I've always been like, why is that thing talking in the middle of the night? When the batteries are supposed to be like dying down, and then you're like, they really dying down, or is it like a vessel or something? And someone's trying to talk to me. Um, okay, I have Teochew Chinese Cemetery. The number one spot on this list has been reserved for a place that is pretty unique, though said to be extremely haunted. Yet this not be in the way you might expect. Um, let's see. The Tiochi Chinese Cemetery in Bangkok is a lively place filled with so much death. The cemetery was established here in the early 1900s as a place where Chinese immigrants to Thailand could be buried together. The cemetery soon grew to a sprawling mass containing thousands of graves. Sadly, this took its toll, and the place of burial fell into disrepair and was abandoned in the 1900s. It was around this time that things started to get very strange with the cemetery. Allegedly, those buried at the cemetery became very disgruntled about the state of their burial place. With it being overgrown and neglected, spooky ghost stories started to spread as well as fear. Many did not want to visit the area of the city due to the paranormal activity caused in around the cemetery. Ghost sightings are even said to have become so prevalent that taxi drivers would refuse any ride that passed through the area of the cemetery, just in case they accidentally picked up a ghost. Due to the aggressive spirits and negative energy at the cemetery, a plan was devised by the city. They vowed to clean up the cemetery and convert it into a space where the living could congregate with the dead. They hoped this act would appease the angered spirits. It's said to have worked, with those buried at the cemetery no longer remaining angry. If you visit today, you'll find people picnicking, playing chess together, working at the park's Muay Thai gym, or even singing karaoke. Well, that's nice. I mean, it seems like they turned a negative into a positive.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it seems like we hear a lot of ghost stories about cemeteries being disturbed or places where people are buried being disturbed and then the ghosts making themselves known.
Yeah, or wouldn't you? Especially you find a Western place, you don't expect people to come and like deliberately desecrate it.
That's true. So then what is cremation then?
It's just another way of, your remains decomposing, really.
Yeah. I
The
wonder
one
if
that I
crematoriums are haunted because I don't hear about
maybe,
crematoriums. You hear about funeral homes, but not crematoriums. Well, I guess that's the same thing, right?
yeah, I don't know which one I would prefer. Like, I like. There's just so many different types. You've got like the like cremation, just a normal burial, but then you've got things like being thrown into the bog, or being mummified, whether that being the Egyptian mummification or the what they've recently found in one of the Chinese deserts with a whole heap of. It's technically a lost civilization,
Oh,
of the
really?
Western steppes. Yeah, the DNA sequence that they've gone through, there is no living relatives left alive. But they're not Chinese. They're kind of like they're white people. Um, I
Mm.
saw that late last night actually, and I was really interested. It's like they're all buried in like mummified in boats, and surprisingly, they're actually still looking really remarkably like lifelike
Oh,
in some. Yeah.
they must have did a really good job.
No. They've just been put out in the elements, and because it's such a dry place, it naturally mummified them.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to read that article. I bet you the Wrathful Proser would be interested in that too.
Probably.
Where do you want to go next?
We can go anywhere you want. Um, Singapore, Vietnam, wherever. Wales, Scotland. I reckon Scotland would be pretty cool.
Um, this Taj Mahal is kind of giving me some creepy vibes. That's
Uh,
I've never heard of the Taj Mahal being ghost or what is it, haunted? Um, let me see. That's interesting.
yeah, if you by the way, if you don't click on the first one, just scroll down and you'll actually see like a bigger, more expanded article on it too. We can go to Singapore. I pulled up the Singapore one.
Okay, let's go to Singapore.
Okay, so since I get to go first, um, the Istana Woodnock or Neck Istana Woodneck haunted mansion of satanic rituals in Singapore. Concealed by thick jungle and feared by locals, the Istana Woodnock mansion is slowly being lost to time. This is a historic mansion that was built in the late 19th century by a wealthy sultan who wanted the gift of the magnificent residence for his fourth wife. Years passed, and this saw the mansion handed down to one of the sultan's sons. He performed extensive renovations on the property before gifting it to his Scottish-born wife. The grand old mansion was to serve a far more important purpose than simply a residence for the wealthy family. As World War II rolled around and Singapore was occupied by the Japanese, the mansion was converted to be used as both a general's headquarters and military hospital. Many wounded and sick people were treated within the mansion, but a bombing in 1942 saw a massive surge in casualties. It is estimated that around 700 lives were lost within the property during this dark moment in history. Given the history and the amount of death experienced within the building, it makes sense that many consider the mansion to be haunted. However, there are some darker aspects to this mansion's past that have further solidified these beliefs. The Astana Woodneck certainly fills the description of a haunted mansion, well hidden, dark, overgrown, and sporting a crumbling facade, um, covered in a sinister graffiti. Yet it is the history of the house that lends weight to its spooky legends. Obviously, the mansion's past as a hospital where hundreds of deaths occurred is one of the reasons some say that the spirits linger in the area. Add to this the long history of the mansion acting as a beloved home, and you have the perfect storm for paranormal activity. Plenty of visitors have reported encountering ghostly occurrences within the decrepit old building, yet there is something even more sinister supposedly lurking here. Since a fire ravaged the building in 2006, much of the structure was destroyed. This event was further increased the deterioration and onslaught of vandalism. Many of the surfaces of the building are now covered in dark symbolism, including graffiti featuring upside-down crosses, the number 666, and many other satanic-type symbolism. It is difficult to say whether this is the reason for many rumors that the mansion is a hotbed for Satanists to perform dark rituals, yet the rumors are prevalent. Could this activity have conjured and brought darker entities to the abandoned mansion, or is it just filled with the lost spirits from times of war? Um, yeah, so apparently you have to hike into it because it's so far away, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't satanic rituals. It's another level of unknown that I don't think I want to mess with.
Yep. I did read not that long ago. Apparently, we're now entering the Satanic Panic version 2.0.
What? What is explain?
Back in the 60s, when all the drugs were taking off and the history of rock and roll and all that kind of stuff, people thought it was very satanic, which is why you get things like, oh, if you play like one of the Beatles songs backwards, like the satanic messages, and I think it's the same with uh, what is it, Stairway to Heaven, and
Mm-hmm.
all that. There's satanic messages in it. Yeah, it's all because of that. People think now that there's a new satanic panic coming, and it's like, really, you guys are idiots. Like, surely the drug fueled stuff from like the first one was bad enough, and you guys quietly gave up on it real quick after the Congress, um, the people from like what was it, Twisted Sister went to the
Oh yeah.
White House and did all that and like denounced all of that crap, and it's like now they're trying to bring it back around. It's like, oh my god, can we just stop?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what are they bringing that up for now? To like the way I see it, it's basically a false flag operation. It's like if they're going to bring that up and make it the mainstream, it's what are they hiding in the back? What are they doing in the background that they're deliberately hiding?
Right.
It's sort of the as what was it, Gurley or one of the other ones that pointed out the other day with the UFO stuff that was being released to the media, but they had other things on to deliberately overshadow it. So the UFO stuff that they were deliberately releasing was kept very quiet. It's yeah.
Yeah, when was that UFO releasing? Was that like
It,
during
it
COVID?
there was some of it during COVID. I do remember like they started releasing all the stuff on like Project Blue Book and stuff like that. Like all the stuff they did say we there are unidentified aerial phenomena that the U.S. forces have no knowledge of. But yeah,
Oh, okay. I gotta look into that. Um, I have Amber Beacon Towers Unsolved Murder. Um, the year is 1990. A young couple venture to the Singapore shoreline out on a date after being an official couple for just 2 days. The pair stop for a short break, sitting to rest and talk upon the stairs of a now infamous landmark, the Amber Beacon Tower. This brightly colored beacon exudes a radiant light and makes a convenient resting place positioned right on the beachfront. Let's see. The unsuspecting couple was to sit peacefully on the stairs of the Amber Beacon Tower before being attacked. They were approached from behind by two men who were wearing masks to conceal their identities. While the male of this pair was stabbed in the back, he was fortunate being able to fight off his attacker, tossing him over the tower's railing. The man's girlfriend was far less fortunate. She attempted to run away from her attacker, fleeing down the spiral staircase of the tower. In the process, she was stabbed in the neck. Sadly, as her boyfriend descended to reach her, she lay on the floor, losing critical amounts of blood. The injured man left his girlfriend's side to reach help. He managed to stumble into a nearby cafe, alerting patrons and staff to the whereabouts of his girlfriend, before falling unconscious and succumbing to his own blood loss. Though this man survived his wounds, his girlfriend sadly did not. That night, Kelly Tan An Hung was murdered, and to this day, the heinous crime remains unsolved. Um, Let me see.
hey, at least
The
it's not like that story yesterday where he took the wife up the tower and threw her down twice.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That was horrible. I can't believe that. I can't believe some of these murder stories. That's what I can't believe. Like the guy with three wives and, the one on the roof. I just can't believe it. Um, let's see. The murder seems to have provided the background information for this ghost story. Many passers-by of the Amber Beacon Tower have reported seeing a woman dressed solely in white gliding across the multiple levels of the tower. The ghostly aura of this woman is said to be soulful and is believed to belong to the young murdered lady, Kelly Tan Ong Hung. Others have reported having screams of pain and terror, as well as loud cries emanating from the tower when no one is around. Sadly, some people do believe these noises could be caused by Kelly too. Poor lady. Um, Visiting Singapore's haunted Amber Beacon Tower. The Amber, is it Beacon or Bacon? It's misspelled, I think. The Amber Beacon Tower is a public structure located in Singapore's East Coast Park. The structure and its stairs are open and can be explored by visitors. They provide a pleasant view of the beach from the top. Eateries and bars are located along the beach, and the area is popular with locals to picnic and bring their families. Sadly, this crime remains unsolved. If you believe you have any information relating to this case, please consider it passing it on to the Singapore police. That's so sad.
Yeah, and I think the Amber Bacon Tower would definitely be a typo.
That's so sad though that she's there like alone. You know what I mean? Like her
Yep.
boyfriend, I guess, could have joined her, but I guess he didn't. That would have been more cliche. I'm surprised he's not haunting the place, too.
I
But I,
think it depends on the person as to whether they stay or whether they go. So
oh, maybe that's true. I think that's true with my mom.
mm,
I keep talking about her, hoping that she would just come back and haunt me. Not in a creepy way, but like, um, all right, that was Singapore.
we've still got two more for Singapore. We've got the Haunted Cemetery and we've got Changi Beach.
Oh, let's hear about the beach.
Okay, I kind of wondered whether yeah, because I was going to ask you if I can do that one because the Changi Beach one, this one's going to be more of a um. I'm just going to put a trigger warning out there. It's probably going to be more full on,
Okay.
especially if you know the history of the wars. Um,
Mm.
yeah. All right, let me bring the article up. Changi Beach is an idyllic stretch of white sand, clear water, dotted with palm trees. While its appearances look pristine and inviting, its history is a different story. In World War II, led to Singapore becoming occupied by the Japanese. This war was to trigger many terrible events, including the Suk Ching Massacre, which is arguably one of the most heinous acts to occur in Singapore. The name of this massacre literally translates to the cleansing purge and resulted in the execution of many Chinese people within Singapore. Although the Suk Ching massacre saw many executed in various places, the death toll at Changi Beach reached 66. These 66 men were all killed together. They were tied to one another and forced to walk across the beach towards the water. As they hit the water's edge, they were gunned down in a vicious manner.
Oh,
Those who did not die from the gunshot wounds were left to drown in the water, and to complete this horrid process, all the victims' bodies were recovered and hacked apart with the use of bayonets, fully ensuring death.
oh gosh.
Yeah, that's why I said there's a trigger warning to this particular story. The bodies of these unfortunate Chinese men were buried in nearby mass graves dug out by the prisoners of the war. This dark event had stained the history of this area and led to the belief that the stretch of beach is surrounding areas may in fact be haunted. Visiting the site of a terrible massacre is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Some people have, however, reported far more spine-tingling phenomena to have occurred in this area. Many claim that the Changi Beach is one of the most haunted places in the country. There have been countless reports of visitors to the beach experiencing strange, unexplainable sounds. These are typically described as weeping, wailing, screaming, or crying out for help. There have also been phantom sounds of gunshots echoing across the empty stretches of the sand. Visual phenomena have also been said to occur. Some have seen eerie puddles of blood form and pool amongst the grass stains that cover the Changi beach. These appear without identifiable sources and tend to disappear quickly after being spotted. In addition to the blood stains along the beach, many have claimed to spot bizarre apparitions that seem fitting to the circumstances of the massacre. Some people have claimed to have witnessed the heads of Chinese men either bobbing aimlessly in the water or even flying at speed across the shoreline. The headless bodies have also been spotted by some walking the same stretch of beach that they were likely executed upon. Interestingly, there has been even others who have claimed to sight what can only be described as the actual executions taking place. This is thought to be trapped energy resulting in residual hauntings and basically showcases scenes that are doomed to replay throughout time. Which makes me wonder if the stories from Gettysburg where similar scenes happen, if that is the same sort of phenomenon.
Mm, like a reoccurring event that just is in a loop and it's like playing like on a tape recorder.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
yeah. I think the supernatural episodes with the ghost faces, there's a really brilliant example of that, and they explain that the 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 logic and the law behind it.
oh, I need to yeah, I need to look that up. It's just I'm trying to think. It's yeah, it's interesting. Um I was gonna save this for Wrath when we do a collab, but my my aunt and uncle when they horrifically passed away, um my mom couldn't communicate with them, but she could communicate with their son, which is an interesting situation. But yeah, I'm still curious, like if it depends on the person or it depends on the event or it depends on like maybe it's a glitch or something. I don't know, but I've never heard of that. Uh like the pools of blood and all of that like on a beach. I would have yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it even says there's a lady in white that walks the beach as well.
Yeah, where's the why would the how does that fit into the story? Or maybe it's a different story? Or
It just says there are also reports of women in white who prowl the area, often crying in pain as if they just lost a loved one. So they
oh,
might have been Chinese wives who were forced to watch the execution. You don't know.
oh my gosh, that would have been horrible. Um, what is this? There's oh, this person makes YouTube videos on all the places that she's been.
Hmm.
Um,
So yeah, when we finish this, we'll have to give our gracious thanks to the creator.
yeah. Oh, we did that one already. Which one was
Yeah,
left?
like the beach, the cemetery. Like the other thing about the Changi, the reason why I wanted to do that one is because a lot of Australian Anzacs were actually kept as prisoners of war there, and they said
Oh,
there's still a whole heap there that have yet to come home,
oh,
which I really do hope that, like, I know they're working on it, but I really do hope that eventually all of the souls that were lost there do eventually come home.
Yeah. Put everybody at rest.
Yep.
Speaking of the Philippines, do you want to jump over there?
Uh, yep. Well, you, as I said, you did miss that one for uh, the Singapore's most haunted cemetery
Oh,
that
okay.
has 100 that has 100,000 ghosts. I can flick through that one if you want.
Oh, I got it pulled up. I thought
Okay.
I read this one already, but I
No,
didn't. Oh. There's so
you
many.
you read the other cemetery.
I'm gonna butcher this name. Is it Bucket? Bucket? Bucket Brown Cemetery? Singapore? Singapore's Brown Cemetery is a unique and beautiful location. Not only is it the resting place for over 100,000 people, nestled snugly amongst dense rainforest, it also functions as a biodiversity park. The cemetery is spread through some 233 hectares of jungle like forest with graves dating back to 1833. There are many prominent figures for Singapore's history buried here. The graves lie right alongside those who were poor or met unfortunate ends during World War II. Living in serene unison with the dead are many species of birds. Interestingly, the cemetery has even become a sanctuary for many rare and even endangered species to thrive. The walking trails and hikes that led visitors through the Bucket Brown Cemetery are popular amongst visitors. However, some fear the area and don't dare to go near the sleepy cemetery. There are many legends that state that this is one of the most haunted places in Singapore. Uh, is it Brown Cemetery has a long history of many graves. It is very likely this assisted the legends that it is haunted to prosper. One of the main pieces of folklore states that the forested area that encompasses the cemetery is haunted by Pentak. I'm gonna butcher that. Pontiacs. I don't know. Um, these beings are basically the spirits of women who died while pregnant or during childbirth. They are said to be very aggressive, fierce, and strike fear into the hearts of many, especially when you consider their typical vampirish tendencies. The origins of this ghoulish beings, the origins of these ghoulish beings haunting Burkett Brown Cemetery haven't been defined in folklore, yet there are said to be multiple Pon- Pontiacs haunting the area. I've never heard of those before. Another of the ghost stories that have been circulated about this famed Singaporean cemetery is of far more recent times. 2011 saw the construction of a massive 8-lane highway approved. This road cut directly through the cemetery and resulted in some 4,000 graves being exhumed and moved elsewhere. Understandably, this is said to have angered the dead who were supposed to be resting eternally within this burial place. It is said that the spirits of those who were relocated were very disturbed. This disrespect caused them to rise from their slumber and haunt the cemetery. Additionally, the rest of the spirits, although untouched by this construction, were also angered. They were also thought to wander the grounds of the cemetery, hoping to defend the place of rest. All 100,000 plus of them. Wow. Let's see.
Yep.
The The cemetery is not too far from the main city center of Singapore. It makes an interesting trip and a serene stroll laced with nature and history. It's not uncommon to find joggers or people walking their dogs here, right alongside those at the cemetery to mourn or pay their respects. I wonder if the animals have a reaction to that area.
No idea.
Have you heard of that? Like dogs or
Yep,
animals have a reaction, might have a reaction.
yep. They usually animals are usually pretty in tune to what's going on around them.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I would come home from like a hospice death call, my dog would act like she didn't recognize me for several minutes. Um, which is why I got creepy vibes after a while.
Yeah, there's probably I wouldn't say it's the stink of the dead, but it'd be something similar to that. That's the reason why they react the way they do.
Yeah, like an essence or something, or
Mm,
I don't know, like maybe I carried some of that energy home with me because there was some very creepy car rides by myself and I'm like, "Oh my god, I think someone's in the car with me or someone's in the back seat or something's watching me." Um and then I started taking my my dog with me on a couple of them when um I knew I had a long drive, but yeah, I wonder what they see, what the animals see and feel.
mm.
Um,
No, but I think that's part of the reason why we have developed as a cult, like as a singular culture over the basically since we've been intelligent enough to even think about it. Why we have certain death rituals.
mm,
No. Yeah, I know we're still trying to quantify what is death and the weight of the soul and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like
oh,
the fact that they said the human brain can still continue after death for a few seconds and stuff like that, and like it literally does replay your life, like in like fast forward motion and all that kind of stuff is real interesting. But yeah,
yeah. Have you heard of that study where a person,
ooh,
they weigh a person and then they weigh them after they've passed and they weigh less?
yeah, but it's like 0.004 grams or something if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, Khaleesi.
Hi, Khaleesi. Thank you for coming in.
Mm, yeah, we got
Love
some
the
good stories
replay
today,
too.
Khaleesi. Yep. Mm.
Um,
Well, we technically have enough time for pretty much one more story out of the Philippines.
yes, let's do the Philippines. I was deployed there at one time.
All right. Well, I tell you what. I will let you pick the story, and I will read it.
Okay.
I already got the list pulled up, so
Ooh, there's so many.
I
Uh,
like all these ones with the haunted tunnels. There's actually a place in New South Wales on the northern side of Sydney. Uh, North Kilco, I think, maybe. There's all those tunnels underground. It is attached to a fort. I remember being taken there as either a scout group we went there, and I remember them taking all our torches off us and go, "You have to run through here with no torches on." And yeah, my stupid ass ran straight into a bloody wall at top speed and knocked myself unconscious, didn't I?
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
How
I still the
horrible.
fact that I still remember that's shocking even for me.
Oh my gosh. I'm speechless. I mean, I would be terrified and I would probably never go into any darkened place ever again without
I,
light.
I was I was terrified because the group leaders that were with us scared the living shit out of us. That is why we all started running. And yeah, I did, like mind you, I do stupid shit to myself all the time. But that yeah,
Better you than me. I would probably run. I would get lost and then I would cry and then I would hit a wall.
I was just
Um
lucky I didn't break my big owl like my big Harry Potter owl glasses. You know.
yeah, that too. Oh my gosh. Let's see. The tunnels. Why don't we do the
Uh,
tunnels? I'm gonna the haunted Malinta tunnel, war and ghosts in the Philippines.
uh, yep. Okay, got it. Bringing it up now. And by the way, I cheated. I googled how to pronounce the Cory Gidor Island.
Oh, that's not fair.
I had to do some. I was thinking it was the other one, so I also googled the other one, the Bag Baguio.
Baguio, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
the island.
the tunnels look
Yep.
creepy already.
They kind of look like the big Mash tunnels, like the ones they show in Mash.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the island sits off the coast of the Philippines and was a strategic place to hold during World War II. The island was seen as the key to Manila, sitting just within its bay. Resultantly, it was fought over by both the US and the Japanese military, who both managed to secure the island at different times. Being a place that was so brutally ravaged by war, Corregidor Island saw mass amounts of bloodshed and death. This is the island is thought to be one of the most haunted places in the Philippines. The Malinta Tunnel is just one of the places on the island where paranormal activity seems to occur frequently. I wonder if this is one of the islands where they also run around with flamethrowers and were brutally executing people that would pop out of like their little rat holes with flamethrowers.
Oh gosh.
So the Malinta Tunnel was built over a 10-year period from 1922. It is essentially a massive tunnel bored through the mountainside with several smaller tunnel systems spanning off its length. During its existence, it has been utilized as a military storage hub, bomb shelter, office and living space, as well as a 1,000-bed hospital. Due to the nature of the tunnel's use and the fact that it spent a great deal of time in the middle of a war zone, the space has seen a great deal of death. Many perished from war injuries within the tunnel, though there was a far greater loss of life to come. As the United States fought to reclaim Corregidor Island, the Japanese faced imminent defeat. Instead of succumbing to surrender, many Japanese soldiers committed suicide within the tunnel.
Oh my god.
Uh, yeah, seppuku is a pain. I've never understood the ritual suicide thing for that. It
Yeah,
is said that around. Yep.
I think it's a dignity thing. I think it's a cultural dignity thing, I think.
Yeah, but that would be last minute thing. Like you would either fight to the death, or the fact that they're taking like suicide as way out. I know both sides were pretty shocking when it come to the treatment of like POWs and that. But wouldn't you be better off being a POW? Like realistically,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I will say this, at least the American POWs, sorry, the people that were in the American camps of POWs, at least had better food and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, I well back then the POW camps um were all being used for basically warfare medical research.
yeah, the unit 361 or 314 or whatever it is, that is just shocking.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so it is said that around 3,000 soldiers died in the Malinta Tunnel, purposely detonating explosives within. There are many bodies entombed in the sprawling tunnel system and extensive damage to the structure of the place. Just one of the reasons why many believe the tunnels to be haunted. That makes that makes me think there's also a mountain in Germany somewhere that had tunnel systems built into it that they can only access a certain part of it because they detonated the bottom half to stop people, the allies from going in.
Oh
Mm.
man, I didn't know
Um,
the tunnels were so haunted.
yeah, lot of there's a lot of places like that. Um, I'm surprised Ramray Island wasn't on here, to tell you the truth. So many of the visitors to the Malenta Tunnel in the island's mountainside have reported experiencing unexplainable phenomena, given the tunnel's long and dark history of death. Its supposed hauntings may come as no surprise. While there are no specific ghosts known to haunt the tunnel, many people believe that the energy left there from the soldiers and the hospital patients still remains. This includes spirits of the Japanese, Filipino, and US descent.
Mm.
There have been many reports of apparitions being sighted. These include that of a dark shadow figures and even those dressed up as soldiers. Furthermore, many people have claimed to hear voices when no one is around. Sometimes these voices are screaming in terror as if they are trapped, leaving some to speculate these could be the Japanese soldiers entombed in the rubble. In addition, suddenly forming cold spots, poltergeist activities, and the feelings of being watched are also commonly reported within the tunnel. Um, so yeah, and then that's just how you get there and that. Like, you like if you got entombed in life, like entombed alive, and you knew there was no place, I could understand, the self-sacrifice that way. But yeah, if,
Yeah, there's definitely some traumatic negative energy. Maybe that's what it is. Traumatic negative energy.
yeah, definitely. Mm, yeah, like yeah, as I said, with a lot of that, I'm really surprised that there's a lot of things that weren't there, like Ramray Island. I would have honestly thought with what happened there, um, would have been on the on her visit list just because of what a spectacular clusterfuck that was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I
Yeah,
know you wouldn't want to get close to it just because of all the bloody crocodiles, but still,
nature's dangers.
yep.
Yeah, so out of these, which one would you most want to go to?
I would definitely visit them all, but the one that had the time loop at the Gettysburg and that, I would definitely like to go and see because that has always um, interested me more because I know there are plenty of spots where similar situations to Phantom Soldiers and like Phantom battles have been seen and stuff um, happening through through the fog and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be one of the biggest ones I would love to go and see.
Yeah, I think I want to see the Amy Beacon Tower. Um, Either that or the other beach, or the beach, only because of the phenomena. Like, I want to see the out of ordinary phenomena. Like, you always hear about the voices and like feeling like being watched, but you don't like, you know, see the phenomena. Like, you want to go see, like, because I'm sure it'd be a guaranteed phenomena if it's residual energy, like on a time loop.
Yep.
Um yeah, I wonder if what I saw was a time loop. I wonder if the ghost I saw was a time loop, because I'm like, the reaction to the person I was with made kind of makes me think that he saw things too. Because I was like, oh, this person went from like the sunroom to like the basement, and they were glowing and they were like gliding, and then they're like, that's my grandfather. I was like, oh God, I'm scared now. Not like I wasn't scared before, but I was more scared. Um,
By the way, I need to make a correction. It was Unit 731, not Unit 314 for the Chinese experiment.
731. Oh,
Yeah,
I need to look. I want to look into that, but I know it's going to be absolutely horrific.
yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, like,
that was the experimentations on POWs and stuff like that. Like as excruciating as it was, we did get a lot of good medical data out of it. Sadly, um, yeah, like you just yeah finding out like because finding out that kind of like data to do with where they virtually were using hypothermia on people and stuff like that to see how far they could push it, and yeah, the fact that they had to torture people to do it just still doesn't sit right.
yeah. And I mean, medical ethics is not that old either. Medical research ethics is not that whole old in American history. Um, Look at the 1930s, where we experimented on African Americans, with syphilis and the Tuskegee Project. Um,
What
yeah.
wasn't there also stuff where they deliberately released viruses out into the water and then watch what would happen when it come back over? I think it was San Francisco in that area.
Oh, I don't know, but I'll look into that. No, I
Yeah,
think
like
we have done a lot of unethical and insane things.
I,
And
I I still think America does unethical things now, like with the way they charge people for like like saline water. Someone was saying it's like $100 and something per bag. It's like freaking salt and water. That it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to pay for that kind of stuff. It's a joke.
I trust me, I totally get it. Um, a bag of IV Tylenol. So if we have to give you Tylenol through your IV, that's $1,000 for that drug.
Man, I'd be up shit creek without a paddle because the amount of times like I've had kidney stones and all that where they've had to put like morphine and that new one, the new one that's it's similar to ketamine, I think it is, that they now use as well. Like, yeah, I'd be, yeah, I'd be like, yes, sir, I can't afford it, and
Yeah.
even just getting the surgery for the damn kidney stone would be enough to bankrupt me.
Yeah, it's a sad reality for a lot of people in the US. I even read a news article where there was an elderly couple that were found in a van. Um, they were deceased, and they left a note, and they said, well, we couldn't pay our medical bills we couldn't get treatment. So that was our only option. And I was like, that's horrific. Like my late husband was a paranoid schizophrenic. Um his medications, God, there was one medication, it was $10,000 per prescription. Um
That's right.
and I chose the cheap insurance plan because in the US, we buy our insurance plans in order to get insurance, or um some of us qualify for too poor, or under a certain threshold, but not even necessarily too poor, but like under a certain threshold you'll get covered. But I chose like a cheap insurance plan and didn't look up anything, and my insurance didn't cover the medications that I needed or required. So it was a scramble a couple of times to try to get this medication, like begging pharmacies. Like, I think I looked up how to do like donating my whatever I could um to get medications. And I worked in a rural hospital, and a lot of those patients were there because they couldn't afford their water pill for their heart failure, or they couldn't afford their insulin, or they couldn't afford, you know, they're like 1 week away from getting their asthma medication. But essentially, they were there because they couldn't afford their own medical expenses. And I just think it's sad. I didn't mean to get on the soapbox, but
No,
um,
no,
I'm
I
very
totally agree
envious
with
of
you.
your guy. I'm very envious of your guys's healthcare system. I want to study it. I think it's fascinating.
Well,
Um,
funnily enough, only a couple of years ago, there was a big push um, for from the American side to come in and basically Americanize the Australian healthcare system. The government turned around and, like, as corrupt as they are and up themselves, you know, that they are like every other politician. And the one thing they turned around and said was, told the American people that were pushing this to go get stuff they will never ever do to the Australian healthcare system what America's done,
I
which
can
is,
see that.
yeah. Well, if you look at it from my point, like I'm on a lot of, you know, like I'm on antidepressants and stuff like that. I'm on Rivaroxaban for life, the anti blood clotting
Mm-hmm.
medication. That would that I know that would over there cost me an absolute fortune because I need these tablets daily to function. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't use my puffer as much as I really need to because I'm not stupid enough to go and deliberately trigger my asthma. You know, yeah, I can imagine the people that need all that stuff and can't afford it. Whereas over here, like, because I've also got Aboriginal blood, I can go to my chemist and I can get it all for free.
Oh,
So I don't pay for any of this stuff. And, like, I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I don't have to pay for any of that. I can go to him and go, okay, I need this, 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 and this, and he'll just say, yep, here you go. Do you need anything else? And there's a couple other things I'll have to bring up with him and go, is there anything I need to do about this? Do I need to worry? That kind of thing. So I'm really glad that's not going to be a big issue. Like, I do know that tomorrow I will need to have, like, all my bloods done and all that kind of stuff. And, again, that won't cost me a cent.
yeah, you're very blessed for all of that.
Yeah,
Um,
I am. That is one thing I am extremely thankful for the government for actually standing up for the Australian people because I think if they turn around and started to Americanize the system, they would be booted out of power real quick.
yeah, does that mean like um because here we don't have fixed prices on medications. It's up to the distributor or the manufacturer on what they want to put a price point on. And in a lot of cases, insurance companies will raise the rate of the med to kind of, I'm not sure what the logic or the rationale it is behind it, but you can see from year to year some drug prices might change, and what is covered by the government might change. Do you guys have like, I don't know if you know
Yeah,
this, but like fixed drug prices, like we you guys will only pay this much for this drug from this manufacturer?
yeah. There's a system called the PBS system, which is the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme. Certain drugs are on that. They've only just recently put like things like Ozempic and stuff like, and the sister drug to that is now on that list. So those of us who need it don't have to go and pay like um the models and all that were paying, several $100s or up to 1,000 for Ozempic and all that kind of stuff. We don't have to pay that price for that. They are fair, that most of the drugs are fairly well regulated within Australia. I know there are some that we still can't get yet because of the US is deliberately blocking some of that, but that's yeah, that I haven't really looked into much.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's just and it's the same with the healthcare system. Like if I go into the emergency department, they're not going to charge me unless I start going like private or something like that, or it's something um, something like a surgery that would be for vanity, for example. You will get charged absolutely a fortune for.
Mm.
But the life saving stuff, no. You they will just go, yep, do it. Like I've had kidney stones. I think it's about 7 times now, and each time, yep, no, just go in, get the stent put in, get given the pain meds and all that kind of stuff, and say, yep. The only thing that sucks with the system because it is overburdened, the follow up care is not very good, unfortunately,
Mm.
unless you keep pushing it. But I think that's the same throughout the world, regardless of whether you pay for it or you don't. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, Garth. I honestly would love to talk to you more about your healthcare system. I do have another channel that I was trying to get up and running. That's more on like healthcare and things like that. I would love to have you on whenever I reach 50 subscribers. um, just
You
because I
you'll get there
think,
eventually.
huh?
You'll get there eventually, just like Kenny. You'll get there.
Oh yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. I have a pretty good um was it platform here, so um
Mm.
it won't be it won't be too difficult. I just have to keep at it. But yeah, I would love to talk to you more about that. What is tomorrow?
Tomorrow
Wednesday.
is Thursday for me.
I might take a day off tomorrow.
Yep,
Um and try to dig into this lively timeline that's probably gonna kill me, but
yep. I think if you need help with that, reach out to Cassidy. She's already got some of that stuff written down and like timelined out. So
oh,
if you
okay.
really need help with it, reach out to Cassidy. I mean, she's I think light years ahead of everyone else on certain things because as she said, she's basically an insomniac. So yeah.
Yeah. Um I am too. But there's just so, and I haven't been, I'm late to the party. I only learned how to get to the docket like a couple months ago. So pulling up
Mm.
documents and exhibits, I'm way behind and I don't have anything cataloged, and I didn't realize that I should have, but
Don't
oh
worry,
well.
you'll catch up. Like there's only a handful of people that have been in it from the beginning, and they're the bigger channels. So yeah, you'll be alright. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually, and slowly build your following, as it were. And yeah,
Yeah. Well,
like like yeah, just don't be afraid to reach out to like Ken's and other people like the smaller channels that started off really really small. And yeah, if you really want guidance, I would suggest also probably Ashley Brown at you.
Oh yeah, she's a good
She
one.
she she's good with the PR side and all that kind of stuff, and she could help with the channel growth and everything too.
Yeah, I need to reach out to a few people, or I'm trying. So everybody's just so busy. But
Hmm.
okay, so I'll probably be back. It'll be Thursday for me, Friday for you. If you still want to
Yep.
come on and share ghost stories. I love your perspective.
Yep. Well, I'll see what I'm doing because hopefully my it depends on whether or not my friend's got a day off work because we usually game together if we can when he gets a day off work. But that's fine. I can do it around that or whatever. So yeah.
Oh no, you have fun with your friend. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to you. But
Yep.
thank you for this, and thank you for suggesting this website. This is pretty incredible. So if anybody's
Yes.
still with us, this is amy'scrypt.com. She is a worldwide, what would you say, ghost hunter, paranormal
Paranormal.
investigator,
Yeah. Paranormal expertise.
paranormal expertise, and this site is amazing. Girly, I think you're in the Philippines, so you should check out some of this stuff if you like ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
All right.
yeah the site's got not only the blogs that we were reading from. There's also links to her YouTube channel as well. So even if you go and watch her videos and give a like and subscribe and all that, that would I'm sure she would greatly appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I'm subscribing right now.
Yeah, I'll do that after the stream.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us after dark. We'll see you my Thursday. Um, for those who are day ahead, that'd be Friday. And we'll see. I don't know what a topic will be. Cryptids, maybe. Cryptids was could be a good category. Um,
Yep,
and see if we
cryptids,
can.
aliens, whatever.
Yeah. And we can go down that rabbit hole.
Yep. Well, whatever you choose, just let me know, and yeah, I will be in. And yeah,
All right, I'll let you know, and I'll send you a link.
all right, no problem. Thank you. Have a good night.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. Have a good day.